Hi everyone, it's Lynn. Today I wanted to share with you some Christmas cards I've been making. I found it really hard to get motivated this year to make anything at all. And in the end I thought, come on, let's sit down and do some. I'm not going to send them out to everybody, just to special friends and people that I know like handmade items. I won't just throw them in the bin. That's what really gets me about cards, I think. That you put so much of your heart and soul into making them, and sometimes people just don't really appreciate them at all. Anyway, so I gave myself a good kick up the backside and sat down, and for the last 2 days I've been frantically beavering away. I've got a whole box full of Christmas things that I've bought over the years, and they just get put away and not used. So this year I was determined to try and use some of them. I still haven't really used a lot, but maybe now I've started, once I've got these in the post, I'll sit down and make my cards for next year, and then it won't be such a rush again, will it? Anyway, that's the plan, but whether it happens or not is another thing. Anyway, this is the first card that I made. I was stumped a bit because I put the red border strip across the middle, and I wanted to use the reindeer, but I don't know, I just fiddled about with it. Anyway, in the end I embossed the top half of the card with a snowflake embossing folder. I think it was a Quick Cuts one, and sanded it a bit. And then I cut the Noel from my Xmas die. I'm really liking that die. I got it quite cheap through one of Xmas' own sales, where they quite often discount a lot of dies. The only thing I don't like about it is their postage charge is really high, but if you can get them for a cheap price, and I think this one was £2 or £3 only, and it had the Noel and the holly that you'll see a bit later, and also a tag with a frame around it. So I really like it, and I know I'm going to make a lot of use of that die in the future. So anyway, that's the first one. The reindeer is made from why does my head go to mush? This canvas. It's made out of canvas, and then I stamped it and then inked the edges a la Tim Holtz. Put a bit of holly around its neck and a red bling on its nose for Rudolph. So I was quite pleased how that one turned out. The next one is slightly different. I used the holly I was talking about from that die, a different one of the reindeers, but the same, stamped it with the canvas. This time I cut the Noel from red sparkly glitter paper, and I've put a bit of vellum behind that. I cut with the Baroque die. So that's number 2. Number 3, I'll have to get back a bit, I think. This one, I embossed the top half with another embossing folder. Who it's by, I cannot remember at all. Might be a Cuttlebug one, I think. The bird I cut from a Xmas die that I have, and the holly is just the top part of the other holly that you saw. I put a bit of shiny ribbon across the middle and some bling for the holly berries. And then I stuck some star-shaped bling on top of the stars that were already in the embossing folder, just to bring them out a bit more. And I rubbed over lightly with a gold ink pad as well, just to highlight the words and make them pop a bit more. I also put a bit of gold printed vellum on the bottom there, just for a bit of contrast. So number 3. Number 4 is again an embossing folder. I sanded it and then rubbed over the top with a gold ink pad, and then picked out some of the highlights of the flowers with some golden bling. Stamped and embossed Season's Greetings in the corner. It still looked a bit plain, so I went round with a glue pen and then put some glitter on the edges just to sort of finish it off a bit. So that's number 4. Number 5, I had these stickers in my stash from Paper Mania, and so I decided to hang them like bunting, so I put a bit of this golden stretchy cord along to be the rope, stuck the stockings on, and then made some little bows out of the same cord and put them on. For the bottom I covered a piece of card with red satin ribbon and then run another golden ribbon which was printed with Merry Christmas and Happy New Year along the bottom, and then I put that on with hot glue, and then after just put some little punched out holly leaves and bling, just to set it off a bit more. Then the next one is this one, which was actually made from a paper tablecloth we had last year at Christmas, and I cut the border off of it when it was finished with and kept it because I thought one day I'll make something useful out of that. So I stuck it onto the card, ran some double-sided tape along the edge there and glittered it, and then the sign, the Happy Christmas sign, I inked it a bit to darken it down. I think it was with old paper, or no, what's the other one that Tim does? Linen, worn linen. And then I covered it with glossy accents to sort of make it a bit dimensional. I don't know if you can just about see it sparkling there. Put some bling in the middle, so that one was quite a simple one. I have made a couple of some of these, so I've got more, but some of them are one-offs. This is a one-off. In order to stamp out the Noel with the glitter paper and not ruin my die, I put a piece of paper on the glittery side and cut them both together, and so that was a bit of paper left. I stuck it, first of all I covered it in stickles, Tim Holtz rock candy stickles, but it didn't really do that much, so afterwards I put some other glitter glue on it that I've got, which is more sparkly. And then I had the bright idea to put some white flower soft on the top, to give it a sort of look as if it was snowing. And then I used a felt dove, which is from Paper Mania, which I had from last year, and again the holly branch, and I stuck it on top of vellum again. And also I just remembered I need to stick some bling over the corners there where you can see the glue through, so I'll have to do that after. Then there's this one. I punched out the snowflakes. This is a bit of a dimensional die. I can't remember who makes it. It might be an X-cut snowflake die. And then I stuck a piece of red card behind, so it would show through. The tag was one that was left off of a present last year, but I quite liked it because it had this bead and ribbon coming through the top,